All right, so this is a Remington Model 102. Um, let's see, it's about what is that? One half small wood calculator, tall, probably like a three-quarter, five, five-eighths small wood, wide. Um, the depth is about one small wood, and I know that you all have one of these lying around, and it's just a good kind of scale for reference. Anyway, this was my first 10 key machine. Honestly, the only reason I'm making this video is because I cannot find any information on this online pretty much. I mean, I think there was like one video of someone kind of demonstrating a little bit of this. But when I got this thing, I was trying to find like any information I could, videos. There's like a Wikipedia picture, I think. And I'm not sure if that's because this thing is just so boring. Because it is. I mean, this is the most boring machine I own. However, it's this is the only machine I received that just absolutely. I mean, it took zero effort to get this thing working pretty flawlessly. So, I mean, in terms of how robust it is, it's an excellent kind of. If you just need to buy one of these, they're all over eBay, and that was kind of the weird thing to me was that there's so many of these on eBay. You know, you would think that at least one or two people would make a little video or something. Um, so this is it. This is the. If someone else makes a better video, please do this because I don't know. I mean, I'm assuming there's going to be someone out there that finds this in their, I don't know, like an attic of their dead relatives, or someone buys it on eBay for like a movie prop. Because there's so many of these. But I'm just gonna do a few things like just run through basic operations. This is like a very simple bare bones 10 key machine. There's like nothing special about this at all other than it's oh, how heavy is this? Oh, it's about 30 pounds. I would say it's we've seen how large it is, so you have a really good picture in your mind of how large this is. But let's see. So going through this is the total button. Um, Add, multiply, subtract. This is a no add. There might be another more specific term, but I've always just called this no add. And then subtotal. And then here's your little, I guess you could call this a keyboard register. All it does is show you how many digits you've entered. And it goes up to 7. Um, so, I mean, that's probably good enough. And you got your little comma and your decimal because this is clearly a financial calculator. So, let's see, I don't know, addition. Obviously, this being a 10 key, you're going to have to do the decimals or add a couple zeros, or it's just going to show, 0 cents. But let's say I want to do $2.50 plus, I don't know, $80.97. So this is just addition. You can see the printer going there, 56 cents. Subtraction, this one's nice. It's got the two-tone ink ribbon there. So I don't know, let's say $200. Um, so it shows your subtraction up there. This is not, I haven't used this thing in a while, so the ink's probably not, super fresh on this side of the roll, but subtotal. So I've added addition, subtraction. Subtotal is just, print the little in red so you know it's negative, or credit, or whatever the antiquated term for negative money is. Um, so subtotal is just going to prevent you from clearing out the totalizer, I guess you could call it. So I can add another $23 to that, do a subtotal again. Basically, the only difference between the subtotal and total is that once I hit total, it's going to clear back to 0. I do not know the proper terminology on 10 keys or like just straight up adding machines. I would call that an accumulator. I think is probably, I think it might be called a totalizer. Basically, that's the number that's in here right now that you can't see. Um, so I don't know, $800 minus, I mean, it's still going to be negative. So if I hit total here, that's going to be the grand total negative. It says total, here we go, TC, total credit. So I should have been paying more attention. The T and the C there is going to be, or the C is going to stand for credit, the whatever. So in total, I got entered $92.97 total credit, which is under the felony limit here in Texas for theft. So I'm still in misdemeanor territory, which is fine. I'm not going to jail probably, or at least not state jail. Anyway, so once the total's been hit, now I can do subtotal again, and it's 0. Apparently this thing's not going to shift to the black ink because it's just stuck on the total credit of 0 here, so I can add maybe 1 cent to that. And now we're back in the black. So we're in a financially stable position at 1 cent. So no ad is fun. Say I mean, this is really going to be more useful for just if you have like a 50-mile long list here, and maybe I want to have a number that's going to represent something and not be added to the total. So I don't think I did 25 in there. No ad. So now the subtotal is still going to be 1 cent. So you can see the N printing off for no ad. S, so that's the subtotal, and it's we're still in the black with our 1 cent deposit. Okay. So I mean, with most of these, this one's no different. If you want to erase what you just typed in, you just slide that over to the right, so you can erase just one of the digits. I guess it's kind of hard to do that, but very basic. Multiplication on this, which is really, it's like multiple add. You can still kind of use it to do some multiplication. So holding down this button. So let's say I want to do, I don't know, somebody bought 7 $25 gift cards to your favorite Olive Garden. I don't know. So $25 is in there, and I'm going to hold this down for 7 counts. And this is kind of hard on this machine because it's really easy to overshoot, and then you just have to start over or subtract whatever. So I got $25 in there. I'm going to hold it down for 7 counts. So we got it 25 times 7, the subtotal. Yep, that's correct. $175 on Olive Garden. Except we forgot to total out the 1 cent, so I guess that's good. I'm gonna total this out. All right, so I mean, what I've noticed with this thing is you really have to. Let's say I'm gonna do, I don't know, multiplying by anything. I try to let go of the multiplication button like the second to last digit goes in. So if I want to hold this down for times 5, I'm gonna wait till I hear the 4th add and then let go. Nope. So it didn't work that time because that's just how it goes. I think it depends on where it's at. So however many 88, 89 we just added. See, that's quite a bit of money. I think that we're doing good now. Sorry about the shaking on this camera. This thing is it's incredibly loud. It's incredibly heavy. There's a lot of momentum. I'll show that here in a minute on this mechanism. So I don't know. Let's see. You can do a negative multiply on this. So I'm just going to add like, I don't know, $1,000, which is you can only up to $1,000 is the limit here with the 7 digits. Okay, here we go. Actually, that's 10,000. Yeah, I forgot. $10,000. Anyway, you can hold down the subtraction key and the multiplication key at the same time, and then release the subtraction key to continue doing a negative multiply. So basically, I have a $10,000 in the account, and I bought, I don't know, six um, widgets at $50 a piece. So I'm going to hold this down, these two buttons, and release the subtract, and I should be able to do the whatever, six widgets at $50 here. There we go. There's my six widgets. So after spending those, frivolous money here on the widgets, I have a total subtotal $9,700. Like I said, this thing is it's very basic. There's nothing special about this machine at all. Um, I mean, it's incredibly, I want to say, well made. So like, I think that uh, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and take this off now because I think that maybe the reason people don't buy these is because the plastic 10 key machines, at least the plastic cases, a lot of them were very cheaply built, um, just very like they're probably not going to work. There's probably a lot of really crappy gears in there that are not even phenolic rosin. They're like just regular plastic that are going to get all worn down. Just plastic parts that should not be plastic. But if you take the cover off this thing, you see that really the only plastic in here is just the case and then the keys, which, show me a machine that doesn't have some type of plastic key. Everything else in here is very heavy, so I tend to base how good machines are based on weight. It's typically the metric I use. We can see the little pin matrix down there. That's I love these things. If you've seen it in the other videos. Anyway, so I mean to demonstrate how robust this thing is. So if you look at these drive gears down here, these are massive, and they're very thick. Like they did not need to make them this thick. It's not focusing. There we go. Everything in here is it's almost like they designed this machine and then like blew it up to like a two times how large it needed to be. So everything in here is very easy to get to. It's very heavy, very large. This is the reason why the table shakes so much when I run this thing. Oh man. So just like 90% of other 10 keys out there, this thing just takes a half-inch uh, universal ribbon. So I mean, if you just got this thing, I guess, and you're trying to figure out how to get it, you're not going to be able to probably find an exact spool that will fit this machine. I mean, most of the time, what I end up doing is, I mean, on this one, you just kind of have to pull this guy out. Um, and then the top of the spool here, this top plate, I guess, will disconnect from this shaft, leaving the bottom plate. So you might not want to remove this with, any kind of ink ribbon on here. I might put some gloves on later because, you get ink all over you when you re-spool these things. The only kind of confusing thing to me on this machine when I got it, the only thing that made me think maybe there was something wrong was this one has a little, okay. So if you look at the back of the paper feed here, you're not focusing. There we go. Um, so this is the first repair, quote unquote, I ever made on a 10 key. And as you can see, from the beginning, I've been very meticulous in how I do this. I think that's a bent paper clip. I'm not really sure. Anyway, if this lever, which is, I think it's either related to the, it's supposed to be a little whatever. So I'm running this thing without any type of a little stick through here. A lot of these machines have, just stick this through here, little center guy, which you can use. I think this machine might have intended for you to use them. I'm not exactly sure what the spools that went in this initially looked like. But if this lever, for whatever reason, is up, which it will tend to do if there's nothing to stop it, so this will move up, which is interlocked those levers up to here on this little ratchet wheel, and will basically stop the mechanism. Here, I'll just go ahead and show it. So it's indexing. I guess you could call this it's not really a pawl. Anyway, it's indexing the printer every time it does one revolution. And this will not index. It will basically be out here and just kind of be doing nonsense, going up and down like it's trying really hard. But if this is not like this won't index. So I was trying to figure out why that was. Eventually just stuck that in there. I think I had another. I hate that I don't have the word for this in the. It's like the toilet paper tube. It's like the thing when you got a toilet paper holder. Imagine this is your TP. It's the thing that you put the roll. The little spring-loaded thing. It's the equivalent on that machine. I don't have one, and it's running just fine. I think I actually used the one that maybe came with this one on another machine. Doesn't matter. Works just fine. So the way that the ink is loaded on this thing, let's see. This is a bi-directional ink feed, which I did not know until I messed around with it a bunch. I believe when I wrote that on here. So the way I have this loaded with ink right now, it's going to feed. It's going to feed from the spool on the right, this one through here, and then it's going to get wrapped up on this spool. So let me just, I'm going to run it for a few ads so we can see that. Oh, so it's actually not. This is a good thing that we caught this. It's actually not feeding at all right now. No, it is. It's just very slow. This thing is feeding very, very slow. You see on the left, it's just barely, which is good. I mean, it doesn't, I guess, need to feed faster than that. I don't know why I wasn't able to see that. Anyway, this one's spinning clockwise. That one's spinning counterclockwise. Technically, this one isn't really spinning at all. It's just connected by the shaft. So I'm going to show the reversing mechanism here, just in case for some reason you want to switch the direction or you loaded it up wrong, like I've done. So let's see. There's a shaft in here. I forgot what what this entire mechanism would be called. I guess like a sun gear, maybe system. It's like a reversing. Anyway, no, ring gear. There's a bunch of gears. Anyway, when I hit add here, that's gonna rotate. You see, it's rotating the same direction as the spool, so I can't have it locking in here. Just the other side of the axle here is an identical gear on the other side, and you can see this just oh man, it's down there. It's underneath, so it's like right in here, right there. I'm pointing at it. So if I want to reverse the direction of the feed here. It's pretty simple. I'm just gonna, I probably shouldn't use, I'm gonna try not to use my hands because this thing is, it's got enough torque to remove your appendages. I'm just gonna do it from this side so I can pull the gear to the right. The whole thing shifts over. You gotta make sure it's, there we go. So now it's meshing with that one. So now I've basically reversed the direction of the feed here. It's gonna feed into this spool now in reverse. I'm gonna switch it back just because there's again, I've had some close calls here with my fingertips. Hopefully, if it's anything like mine, hopefully that's the only thing you might have to mess with. The keys, I think on this one, when I got it, just because for shipping, during the shipping process, one of these keys got, I guess, shoved through the plate here. And there's a couple, each row of keys has these two brackets holding onto them, and it's pretty simple just to remove these screws. I say simple, it's kind of annoying because they all don't have very much clearance, and they've got the little slots for the keys to ride in, you can see. So if you remove one of them, the keys are not going to ride in that slot. It took me a while. I think it was the 4 key, and I don't know. This was just a really simple kind of whatever 15-minute job I did on this thing. Like I said, this is incredibly reliable. Cannot speak more about how reliable this thing is. Unfortunately, hey, I think, yep, this is cool. I caught this on video. I'm pretty sure, in fact, I'm definitely sure that by moving this around, I have uncovered. Let's see if I have like a little needle nose or something. I uncovered the secret little guy, the shaft. Oh, I didn't even know that was down there, so let me just kind of, yeah, we're going to get that out. We're going to try, at least, to remove this. As you can see, I'm having a little bit of trouble. It's probably a good opportunity to stop the video, actually, and I will come back when I've got that out. All right, I got the, I'm just going to call this a shaft. I got it out. So now, for the first time ever, I can have a functional machine, and I guess I'll show you how this thing was supposed to go this whole time. So the mechanism I was talking about earlier, with nothing in here, and I try to add anything, you can see the printer indexing wheel is not being indexed. It's just sitting there and not doing anything. So I got my little lever here thing, this guy. So I'm going to make an assumption on camera, and I'm going to assume that I'm right here, and hopefully this works. Anyway, so this is, what is it? In case you have one of these and you just need to get paper for it, this is just your standard, what is it, 2¼ inch adding machine paper. You can get like 50, not 50, you can get like 12 rolls of this on, Amazon for, I don't know, like $10 maybe. It's, I'm glad they still make this. It's still very cheap. I'm gonna take my special boy, and I'm gonna stick this in here. And if I'm right, like I said, I hadn't tested this. There we go. So we got the guy, and it's preventing my little indexing disconnect lever here from. There we go. I got that in there. feeding the paper on this thing. I'm gonna try to get a better view of this. Just put it in between the two little plates right here. Time you get it down here, you should be far enough to be able to roll this through. And you always have to kind of push the paper to get it under the little cutter. There we go. So that's some properly loaded paper. Now, if I'm right, like I said, this is the first time, I should be able to just do stuff. Yeah, I can do stuff. Now it's working as intended, and I don't know. I'm almost sad that I guess it served its purpose. Anyway, so there you go. That's how you load paper. I might talk a little bit more about respooling the ink on these. It's just, I mean, usually when you buy these, it'll come on. You can get universal ink that'll come on some kind of gigantic spool. It's supposed to be like a universal spool for, hey, it'll work with this shaft and this shaft, and it's got a little insert you can remove. But that's really only going to work for like, the more modern 10 key adding machines. They're the electric ones, whatever. Electronic, this one's whatever, electromechanical, and all these have really tiny little shafts, spools. But, oh man, I wish I had this thing unspooled. Most of these, is a spool, and then there's like little hooks in the spool. Some of them have eyelets when you get the ink ribbon that you can hook into the eyelet, or you can just physically stick it on the little, whatever, spikes, I guess, in the shaft on these. And then with respooling it, you just have to sit there and wind it as tight as you can and get red and black ink all over your hands. But like I said, this ink ribbon, I don't know, $8 maybe for an ink ribbon. Printer tape is very cheap. I'm glad that they didn't ever really change those. So I think we'll be able to get ink and paper for these basically until the, I don't know, the sun implodes, which is nice. Honestly, I think that's about it with this machine. Maybe I'll show how this, remove the top here. So the top plate, this little injection molded plastic guy, there is one little metal piece on here that, I mean, you can load the paper in this thing without removing the case, and then this inserts like that. I usually don't try to do that because it's, it's just not hard to take this thing off. I guess you can't see them from the top. There's two levers that lock this thing in. Like really simple, really easy to remove. You can see that, this is open, and then when I close it, this will latch onto these hooks on either side of the case. So let me just put that back on. Hooks are in the down position, so the levers are pushed away from you. I'm just going to put this over and oh, and then you got to make sure you don't have the paper doing that, because that's not going to work. Anyway, and then you just clip them in, just pulling the levers up. And there we go. I mean, this is the simplest machine out there. I mean, it's the clock speed is it's relatively fast. Compared to some of these. Like I said, there's no counter. There's really nothing, special about this machine at all. I guess I could show, I mean, like if you need to multiply, I don't know, I'm assuming for doing financial stuff on here, let's say you have 25 widgets at $25 a piece. Obviously, hitting 25 and trying to count 1, 2, 3 all the way to 25 would not work. But just like any kind of other multiplication, doing it by hand, I can do 25 in here and do 25 times 5 plus 25 times, I guess like 250 times 5 is really what this ends up doing. I'm just adding a 0 here. And another thing, adding machines. You don't add the zeros by yourself. It goes to the cents. So I guess these are really budget, like Temu widgets that are 25 cents a piece. Anyway, so I've done 5 of those, and then I've got $2.50 times 2. And there you go, $6.25. Being like an AliExpress widget, they're probably going to be like very cheap shipping. It'll take 2 months. Anyway, this is pretty useful. Like if you needed to multiply, let's say, any 3 digits by another 3-digit number. So let's do 255 times 113 because that's pi, but I'm doing it backwards anyway. No, 355. So 355 multiplied by 113 would be impossible holding this down, but let's see, 355. So I'm going to do 3, do a 0, 1, do another 0. You know, I'm not sure if that was 0 or 2, so good news is I have the little backup thing here. So 355, 0, 0, do 1. And now, that, I think that's $3.55 times 113. I could try to verify that on this thing, but you know, who wants to watch that? We got 355. Never mind. Okay, so that's the Remington Model 102. If you're trying to fix one of these and you want some footage of this thing operating, just, I guess, please let me know. Other than that, I mean, this is like I said, there's 0 videos there. I couldn't find any information online. Hopefully, you know, someone will find this video 10 years from now, the one view, and we'll be able to get their little Remington Model 102 working. Let me make sure it's a 102 real quick, just for, because if it's the wrong model, that would defeat the purpose of this whole video. Got the serial right here. Mine is that one. I mean, given that I couldn't find any info online, there's probably not like a way to look up how that relates to the year it was produced. But there it is. And the model right back here. And yep, it is a 102. And you can see Underwriter Laboratories gave this the gold seal of approval, so you know it's definitely not going to take your finger off. Anyway, to the one person who ends up needing to watch this, I hope you're able to get your machine running. If not, please let me know. If I'm still kicking, I'll try to make a little video for that.